Xin chào, tôi tên là Yanika Lisura, 21 tuổi, Song Thai Kanakman Camarines. Good morning everyone. I am the first reporter from Group 10 and here's the comparative analysis of Philippines and Vietnam. Education systems across ASEAN countries share common goals, yet exhibit distinct structures, policies, and approaches. This comparative analysis focuses on the education system of the Philippines and Vietnam, highlighting their similarities, differences, and unique characteristics. By examining key aspects such as the curriculum, teaching methodologies, accessibility, and government policies, this study aims to identify the best practices that contribute to educational success. And understanding these elements is crucial in fostering collaboration, improving its educational standards, and addressing challenges within the region. And through this analysis, we can gain insights into areas for enhancement, ensuring that both nations continue to develop quality education systems aligned with the global and regional goals. Now we will proceed to the structure of the education system or the level of education in the Philippines and Vietnam. Okay, in the Philippines, we have preschool or the kindergarten for 1 year, elementary education 6 years, junior high school 4 years, senior high school 2 years, and tertiary education 4 years of bachelor's degree. While on the other hand, in Vietnam, we have the pre-primary, ages from 3 to 5 years old, primary 5 years, grades 1 to 5, lower secondary 4 years, grades 6 to 9, upper secondary 3 years, grades 10 to 12, and tertiary education which includes the vocational training, colleges, and universities. Here's the mandatory years for schooling in each countries. In the Philippines, we have 13 years of mandatory years for schooling. We have the preschool or kindergarten for 1 year, elementary education for 6 years, junior high school for 4 years, and senior high school for 2 years. In tertiary education of the Philippines, we have 4 years bachelor's degree, but it is non-compulsory. In Vietnam, we have 9 years of mandatory years for schooling. We have the primary, 5 years, grades 1 to 5, and lower secondary, 4 years, grades 6 to 9. While on upper secondary and tertiary education and pre-primary, it is non-compulsory. In pre-primary, hindi siya compulsory since it is like a choice of the parents if gusto nilang pag-aralin earlier yung mga anak nila, ages from 3 to 5 years old. It's like a preparatory for children for primary education bago sila tumungtong ng formal education or formal schooling in primary. And yung upper secondary, para siyang senior high school sa atin. And this is 3 years of schooling, grades 10 to 12, but it is non-compulsory since the children or the child or students have a choice if they want to continue in upper secondary. Unlike sa atin, for senior high school, kailangan talaga nating dumaan ng senior high school. Kasi sabi sa curriculum is, it is a preparation for our future endeavors or programs. And of course, we have the tertiary education, which includes the vocational training colleges and universities, which is also a non-compulsory. So overall, primary and lower secondary, 5 years and 4 years. In total, 9 years of mandatory years for schooling. And for the presence of the alternative learning system, In the Philippines offers the alternative learning system or the flexible education program in the Philippines for the out-of-school youth and adults. As graduate will be given accreditation and equivalency ANE certificate. While on the other hand, in Vietnam, Vietnam offers Gyal Duc Tum Susian or the continuing education. Wala silang same program nung alternative learning system. Iba yung tawag sa kanila. It is like a continuing education na yung mga itinuturo is skills and career life. Skills education. Which means yung nakakatulong sa workforce nila, sa nation nila, sa bansa nila. And for the curriculum and pedagogy, this is the emphasis on STEM education. For the Philippines, we have the Republic Act number 0533, Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 or the K-12 curriculum. And the pedagogy student-centered, and the focus on STEM is the language or technical training. In the Philippines, STEM is one of the senior high school tracks geared towards students aiming for careers in engineering, healthcare, and IT. Dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, ang STEM po ay isa sa track ng senior high school. And this track aims to equip students na nangangarap na pumasok sa engineering, healthcare, and IT. And for Vietnam naman, their curriculum is the national curriculum and their pedagogy is teacher-centered. Vietnam acknowledges the importance of STEM education for developing its future workforce. Ina-acknowledge ng Vietnam yung STEM education kasi they believe na nakaka-help ito sa kanilang future workforce. Since tayo ay nasa 21st century na and ang digital and modernized technology natin talagang marami ng bago, marami ng integration yung technology. And for Vietnam, naniniwala sila na yung STEM integration or yung STEM is importante na kasi nade-develop nila yung workforce nila and napapatatag nila yung foundation nila when it comes to digital literacy kasi ina-acknowledge nila yung kahalagahan ng STEM. However, STEM in Vietnam, their national policies focusing on integrating STEM into general education. Wala pa siya sa general education or sa curriculum ng Vietnam. And may initiative yung government nila, which is the STEM for all. This is to aim basic and secondary levels to integrate STEM in their studies or in their schooling. However, STEM education mainly occurs in after-school activities and isn't fully integrated into their regular curriculum. Kumbaga, isinisingit lang nila yung STEM sa studies nila or sa pag-aaral nila na mostly nag-o-occur lang siya kapag after-school activities or extracurricular activities. And despite daw po na hindi pa rin fully integrated yung STEM sa kanilang regular curriculum, ay nakikipag-collaborate naman yung Vietnam sa mga pilot countries na nagbibigay ng pilot programs. I mean, nakikipag-collaborate sa ibang bansa na may pilot programs na nag-i-introduce ng robotics, coding, and inquiry-based learning sa school. This is to equip its workforce with skills for the digital economy. As I said earlier, is ina-acknowledge ng Vietnam yung STEM kasi naniniwala sila na nade-develop ng STEM yung kakayahan ng isang tao when it comes to digital literacy na makaka-help sa kanila sa future workforce nila as a nation and as a country para hindi sila napag-iiwanan sa modernized society or modernized world natin ngayon. And now we are here to the curriculum and pedagogy of both countries, the emphasis on language use. Mm, In the Philippines, the curriculum promotes proficiency in both Filipino and English, the country's official languages. It is to enhance communication skills and support academic success across all subjects. In the Philippines, dalawa po yung medium of instruction natin, yung language natin na ginagamit sa medium of instruction natin. It is the English and Filipino. Since the Philippines believe na na-enhance nito yung communication ng mga students, most especially when it comes to English. 'Di ba? Pag nasa secondary level na tayo or even in primary kapag naroon tayo sa mga private schools, talagang pinapasok natin yung English language sa lahat ng subject natin. Kasi we believe na in our modernized time, kailangan natin matutunan ang universal language sa pakikipag-communicate natin sa ibang lahi. And mayroon tayong national language which is the Filipino na pinapangalagaan natin na hindi mawala. Kasi dito tayo nagmula and of course, it is our medium of instruction also. Kapag hindi pa masyadong naiintindihan ng bata yung English, lilipat tayo sa Filipino. Or kapag gusto rin natin gamitin yung Filipino, is Filipino yung ginagamit natin. So we have two countries' official language, the Filipino and English. While in Vietnam, Vietnamese is their primary medium of instruction. But foreign language learning is highly emphasized. And English is introduced at the primary level and becomes compulsory in secondary education. Which means yung English, yung Vietnamese po sa kanila is the primary medium of instruction. But in primary level, ini-introduce po nila yung English language and for secondary education nila, nagiging compulsory na po yung paggamit ng English language. Kaya may mga students or mostly sa students nila ay matatas na rin sa paggamit ng wikang Ingles, pati na rin ng ibang wika. Kasi may mga subject talaga sila na yung specific language yung pinapag-aralan nila. And later on, i-explain ko kung anong mga language pa iyon. And now, according to Vietnam, eto na, programs also support the learning of Chinese, Korean, and Japanese due to growing regional ties. Dahil sa nag-grow na regional ties natin ng mga countries, pinag-aaralan na rin ng Vietnam education yung mga language from the other countries or partner countries, which is the Chinese, Korean, and Japanese. And the national foreign language, they have this national foreign language or the NFLP. This aims to improve foreign language proficiency among students and teachers nationwide. This is according to Vietnam Moet 2020.